If you're a man over 60, chances are you've been told for years that taking your vitamins is one of the simplest things you can do to protect your health. Sounds harmless enough, right? But here's what they don't tell you. Some of the most common vitamins, especially those marketed as essential for men, may actually be doing more harm than good. Instead of fueling your body with energy and supporting healthy aging, they might be quietly draining your stamina, lowering your testosterone, and accelerating the very decline you're trying to prevent. And the worst part, no one's warning you about it. Why? Because confusion sells. The more mixed messages you hear, the more you keep buying new bottles, searching for the magic fix, while your energy slips away one capsule at a time. That's why in this video we're cutting through the noise. I'm going to walk you through 3 vitamins that could be silently sabotaging your vitality and show you 3 powerful alternatives that actually support energy, muscle strength, circulation, and even sexual performance if you use them the right way. These aren't gimmicks. They're backed by solid research and real-life results. And the #1 best vitamin on our list. It's so effective at boosting testosterone and reducing fatigue in men over 60 that it's starting to catch the attention of medical researchers around the world. Yet almost no one in the supplement industry is talking about it. Every reference I share today is listed below, so you can double-check the science for yourself. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. What vitamins are you taking right now? Are you sure they're helping, not quietly hurting? Leave a comment below and let's get into it. Vitamin #3 to avoid. Synthetic vitamin E D-alpha tocopherol. Let's kick things off with one of the most misunderstood and potentially dangerous vitamins commonly found in your daily men's multivitamin, synthetic vitamin E. If you flip over the label on almost any over-the-counter multivitamin marketed toward men, especially the cheaper ones, you'll likely see the ingredient D-alpha tocopherol. It sounds official, scientific even, but that little DL prefix is the red flag. It tells you this is a synthetic version of vitamin E, not the kind your body recognizes naturally. For years, this form of vitamin E has been promoted for its supposed benefits to heart and prostate health. But recent science has raised some serious concerns, especially for men over 60. In fact, one of the most important studies on this topic came out of the Journal of the American Medical Association back in 2011. Researchers followed over 35,000 men and found something alarming. Those who took synthetic vitamin E had a 17% higher risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who didn't. Let that sink in. A vitamin that's supposed to protect your prostate may actually be doing the opposite. And it gets worse. Synthetic vitamin E doesn't include the full family of compounds, called tocopherols and tocotrienols, that naturally occur in food-based vitamin E. So not only is it incomplete, but in high doses, it can actually interfere with the absorption of vitamin K, a nutrient critical for blood clotting and heart health. This imbalance can increase your risk of internal bleeding and even stroke, especially if you're already on blood thinners or dealing with high blood pressure. What's even more frustrating is how subtle these effects are. Most men don't feel anything immediately. There's no sharp pain, no sudden symptom. It's a quiet, cumulative effect, one that creeps in over months or years. You might chalk it up to just getting older, but behind the scenes, synthetic vitamin E could be undermining your immune system, lowering your ability to recover from exercise, and weakening your overall vitality. I've had patients come in asking why they feel more tired, why their skin seems drier, or why their wounds are healing slower. And the truth is, sometimes the problem isn't what they are missing, it's what they are unknowingly taking too much of. So what can you do? First, check your supplement labels. If you see D-alpha tocopherol listed, it's time to consider a switch. Look instead for mixed tocopherols or D-alpha tocopherol, the natural form. Better yet, get your vitamin E from food. Nature already designed the perfect package. Sunflower seeds, almonds, avocados, and wheat germ oil are all rich in full-spectrum vitamin E that your body can actually recognize and use. These sources also come with other cofactors, like selenium, healthy fats, and antioxidants that help vitamin E work the way it's meant to. David, 67, came to me a few years ago complaining of fatigue and mild chest tightness. He wasn't on any major medication, and his diet seemed decent. But when we reviewed his supplements, I noticed a cheap multivitamin with 400 IU of synthetic E. We swapped it out for a food-based option, and within weeks, his energy improved. His skin also looked healthier and his post-exercise recovery sped up. The only thing we changed was the form of vitamin E. The takeaway here is simple. Not all vitamins are created equal. The form matters, especially after 60. And in the case of synthetic vitamin E, something that seems like a daily boost could actually be a daily setback. We'll keep building from here. But next, let's look at a vitamin that most men are severely deficient in, one that can recharge your energy and restore your drive if used the right way. Vitamin number 3 to take. Vitamin B12, methylcobalamin form. I'm talking about vitamin B12, and not just any form, but methylcobalamin, the bioactive version your body can actually use right away. This isn't one of those trendy supplements with hype and no substance. The truth is, B12 deficiency is surprisingly common among older men, and the symptoms often sneak in quietly. You might notice a little more fatigue in the afternoons, a bit of brain fog, or even a tingling sensation in your hands or feet that you chalk up to poor circulation. But under the surface, your nervous system and energy metabolism could be running low on one of their most important building blocks. Here's why it happens. As we age, the stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, a key ingredient needed to extract B12 from food. That means even if you're eating eggs, meat, or dairy regularly, your body might not be absorbing enough of this essential nutrient. In fact, a 2021 study published in Nutrients found that 38% of men over 60 had low or borderline B12 levels. That's more than 1 in 3. And it's not just about energy. B12 plays a vital role in making red blood cells, protecting your nerve sheaths and supporting mental clarity. Without it, you may feel tired, unsteady, forgetful, or even experience issues with arousal and performance because nerve function and blood flow are so closely linked. Let me share a story. James, one of my patients, was 68 when he came in saying he felt like he was running on half a tank. He wasn't sleeping well, couldn't get through the day without 2 cups of strong coffee, and had started feeling pins and needles in his fingers when using the computer. We did a simple blood test, and sure enough, his B12 was low. I recommended 1,000 mcg of methylcobalamin daily, taken sublingually to bypass digestion. Within a month, James came back with a smile. Not only was he feeling sharper and more alert, but his wife mentioned he was more energetic around the house and not just with chores. That's the kind of difference B12 can make. But here's the key. Not all B12 supplements are created equal. The most common form, cyanocobalamin, is cheaper and more widely used, but your body has to convert it into methylcobalamin to use it, and that conversion gets less efficient with age. That's why I recommend taking B12 directly as methylcobalamin, ideally in a sublingual form or as part of a B complex that includes folate and B6, which work together to support energy metabolism. If you've been feeling more tired lately or struggling with focus, balance, or sensation, don't brush it off as just getting older. It might be your body asking for more B12. And the good news, with the right form, it's an easy fix. In our next section, we'll talk about another common vitamin that, when taken in excess, can throw your entire hormonal balance off track, yet millions of men are unknowingly overdoing it. Stay with me. Vitamin number 2 to avoid, vitamin D megadoses. Vitamin D has earned its place as one of the most recommended supplements for men over 60, and with good reason. It's been linked to stronger bones, better immune function, and even healthier testosterone levels. So it's no surprise that many men assume, if a little is good, more must be better. But that's where the danger begins. Because vitamin D is fat-soluble, it doesn't just pass through your system like water-soluble vitamins. Instead, it gets stored in your fat tissues and liver, meaning high doses taken over time can quietly build up, and that buildup can cause more harm than good. Here's what most men don't know. Thousands of older adults are now taking megadoses of vitamin D. 5,000, sometimes even 10,000 IU daily, without ever checking their blood levels. Maybe they read about it online, or a well-meaning friend told them it helped with their joints or mood. But what they don't see is what's happening under the surface. According to research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, excessive vitamin D can actually lower testosterone levels and increase the risk of calcium buildup in the arteries, which contributes to hardening of the arteries and raises your chance of a heart attack or stroke. Yes, the very supplement you thought was protecting your heart and hormones might actually be putting both at risk. The most troubling part is that vitamin D overdose symptoms are often subtle and easy to dismiss. Fatigue, muscle weakness, mood swings, and even irritability are common signs, but they're also commonly attributed to aging. I've seen patients come in feeling sluggish, stiff, and mentally cloudy, assuming it's just part of getting older, only to find out their vitamin D levels were 2 or 3 times the upper safe limit. In some cases, they were taking more than 10,000 IU daily for months, completely unaware that they were throwing their hormone system out of balance and increasing their risk of arterial calcification. This doesn't mean you should stop taking vitamin D altogether. For many men, especially those who live in colder climates or spend limited time outdoors, supplementing is necessary. But the key is smart supplementation, not blind dosing. That starts with a simple blood test to measure your 25-hydroxy vitamin D levels. From there, most men over 60 do well with 800 to 2,000 IU per day, which helps support bone density and immune function without pushing into toxic territory. And there's one more step that often gets overlooked: pairing your vitamin D with vitamin K2. Why? Because vitamin K2 helps shuttle calcium to the right places, like your bones and teeth, and away from dangerous places like your arteries and kidneys. Without it, vitamin D can unintentionally encourage calcium buildup in soft tissues, which is exactly what we want to avoid. So if you're currently taking high-dose vitamin D without testing, or without pairing it with K2, this is your sign to pause, reassess, and talk to your doctor. We all want to support our health as we age, but sometimes, even well-intended habits need a second look. In the next section, I'll introduce you to a nutrient that could be the missing link for your energy, heart function, and endurance, especially if you're already taking medication for cholesterol. Let's dive in. Vitamin number 2 to take, CoQ10, ubiquinol. If you've been feeling like your energy just isn't what it used to be, maybe you're getting winded faster, your workouts feel harder, or even everyday activities seem to leave you more drained than before, it might not just be aging. It could be your cells running low on a nutrient that used to come naturally, coenzyme Q10, often called CoQ10 for short. This compound plays a vital role in how your body produces energy. Think of it like the spark plug for your cell's power plants, your mitochondria. And here's the thing: after age 60, your body's natural production of CoQ10 starts to decline. That means your heart, brain, and muscles are essentially trying to run on a half-charged battery every day. This drop in CoQ10 can lead to more than just feeling tired. It can affect your heart function, slow your recovery after exercise, and even impact your mental clarity. But the good news is that supplementing with CoQ10, especially in its active form, ubiquinol, can help restore that lost energy and support better performance across the board. A study published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research showed that older adults who supplemented with CoQ10 reported significant improvements in stamina, cardiovascular health, and overall vitality. These weren't elite athletes. They were everyday people who just wanted to feel strong, steady, and energized again. CoQ10 becomes even more important if you're taking statin drugs to lower cholesterol. Statins are known to deplete your body's natural levels of CoQ10. That's one reason many men on statins complain of fatigue, muscle aches, or even brain fog. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and this might be the missing piece. Replenishing CoQ10 can help you regain the energy statins may be draining away, without compromising the benefits to your heart. Take Glenn, 72, who came to me frustrated that even a short walk around the block left him winded. He was on a statin and assumed his tiredness was just part of getting older. But after we added 100 milligram of ubiquinol to his daily routine, things began to shift. Within a few weeks, he reported clearer thinking, better endurance, and most surprisingly, a renewed desire to get moving again. He wasn't just less tired. He felt motivated, something he hadn't felt in years. To get the full benefit, make sure you're taking ubiquinol, not the older form called ubiquinon. Ubiquinol is easier for the body to absorb, especially after 60. The typical dose is 100 to 200 milligram per day. And since it's fat-soluble, you'll want to take it with a meal that includes some healthy fat, like olive oil, avocado, or a few almonds, to help your body absorb it properly. Energy after 60 isn't about forcing your body to do more. It's about giving your cells what they need to perform at their best. CoQ10 is one of those foundational nutrients, and once your levels are restored, the difference can feel like someone flipped the lights back on. Up next, we'll take a look at one common vitamin that's still being overused by men trying to protect their vision and immune system, but it could quietly be sabotaging your hormones and bone health if you're not careful. Let's wrap up the list of vitamins to avoid with one that still catches many men by surprise. Vitamin A. You've probably heard for years that vitamin A is essential for healthy vision, a strong immune system, and even skin repair, and that's absolutely true. But here's where things get tricky. More is not always better, especially when it comes to the preformed version of vitamin, known as retinol. This type is found in cod liver oil liver supplements and many high-dose multivitamins marketed to men. And because it's fat-soluble, it doesn't leave the body easily. Instead, it gets stored in the liver, and over time, that storage can quietly tip into toxicity. Too much preformed vitamin can affect your body in ways you might not immediately connect to a supplement. You may notice dry skin, fatigue, or joint stiffness, and chalk it up to aging. Some men even report changes in mood, muscle soreness, or a drop in libido, all subtle red flags that something inside is out of balance. One of the most concerning outcomes. A major review published in Drug Safety found that excess vitamin A intake was associated with a higher risk of bone fractures in men over 60. That's because excessive retinol can interfere with bone remodeling, weaken bone density, and counteract the benefits of vitamin D and calcium, nutrients that are already crucial in this stage of life. It's easy to miss the signs because toxicity builds gradually. You might be taking cod liver oil for your joints or skin, or using a daily multivitamin that contains 10,000 IU, 3,000 microgram of vitamin A, thinking you're doing something good for your health. But if your body already has sufficient stores, that daily habit could be slowly working against you. So what's the better option? Switch to beta-carotene, a plant-based form of vitamin found in colorful fruits and vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. Your body only converts beta-carotene into vitamin A when it needs to, making it a much safer, self-regulating source. This is especially important for older adults, whose liver function and nutrient storage systems aren't as efficient as they used to be. Unlike preformed retinol, beta-carotene won't accumulate to dangerous levels or push your system into hormonal imbalance. If you're currently taking a supplement with high levels of retinol, especially more than 3,000 microgram per day, it's a good time to pause and reassess. Read the label carefully. Look for vitamin A sourced from beta-carotene, and try to get more of this essential nutrient from food whenever possible. A cup of steamed carrots or a sweet potato a few times a week can give you all the you need, without the risk. In our next and final section, we'll turn the spotlight on a true foundation of male vitality, one mineral that's absolutely essential for testosterone, strength, and resilience after 60. If you've been feeling a little off, this could be the boost your body's been waiting for. If there's one nutrient that truly deserves the title of vital for men over 60, it's zinc. This trace mineral might not get as much attention as vitamin D or omega-3, but when it comes to keeping your energy up, your immune system strong, and your testosterone where it should be, zinc is absolutely essential. And yet, nearly half of all older men aren't getting enough, either because their diets are lacking, their digestion has slowed, or they are unknowingly depleting it with age, stress, or medications. The result? A slow decline in energy, motivation, sexual desire, and even overall strength. And most men never connect the dots. Zinc plays a direct role in testosterone production, which is why it's so important to male vitality. Without enough of it, your body struggles to make and regulate this crucial hormone. Research published in Biological Trace Element Research found that men with zinc deficiency had significantly lower testosterone levels, and when their zinc stores were replenished, their testosterone bounced back, often in as little as 6 weeks. That's a powerful reminder of how much impact this one mineral can have on your daily life. Let me tell you about Harold, a 71-year-old retired firefighter who came to me feeling like something was off. He wasn't depressed, but he just didn't feel like himself. His energy was down, his workouts felt harder, and intimacy with his wife had become less frequent, not because he didn't want to, but because his drive was fading. His labs didn't show anything dramatic, but one number stood out: low normal zinc. On the advice of his doctor, Harold started taking 30 milligrams of zinc picolinate daily, always with a meal to improve absorption. Within a few weeks, he noticed the change, not just in his body but in his outlook. He felt more alert, more engaged, more like the man he used to be. That's the kind of difference zinc can make, not in a flashy, overnight way, but through the steady rebuilding of what age has gradually worn down. It helps your cells produce energy more efficiently, supports faster recovery, boosts immunity, and most importantly for many men, brings testosterone back into balance. But like anything powerful, it has to be used wisely. If you're thinking about adding zinc to your routine, look for forms like zinc picolinate or zinc citrate, which are more easily absorbed than zinc oxide. Take it with food to avoid stomach upset, and don't exceed 40 mg per day unless your doctor advises it. Going overboard can interfere with copper absorption and throw off your mineral balance. The takeaway is simple. If you're over 60 and feeling like your edge has dulled, zinc might be the easiest and most overlooked fix in your cabinet. It's not a miracle pill, but for many men, it's the missing piece that helps everything work just a little better. And as we'll summarize next, sometimes the right nutrients aren't just about health. They're about restoring the energy, strength, and confidence that make life after 60 truly worth living. So there you have it, 3 vitamins that could be quietly working against you: synthetic vitamin E, excessive vitamin D, and high-dose performed vitamin A. These are the ones to be cautious with, the ones that might seem helpful on the surface but over time can chip away at your energy, your hormone balance, and even your long-term health. And on the flip side, we've got 3 real powerhouses: vitamin B12 in its methylcobalamin form, CoQ10 in ubiquinol form, and zinc in a bioavailable form like picolinate or citrate. These are the nutrients your body craves after 60, the ones that help restore what time has taken: energy, stamina, sharpness, and that deep-seated confidence in your body and mind. The truth is, it's not about taking more pills or chasing every new health trend. It's about making smarter, better-informed choices. And that starts with understanding what your body actually needs at this stage of life, and just as importantly, what it doesn't. Sometimes, that means cutting out the healthy things that are no longer serving you and focusing instead on the essentials that support your strength from the inside out. Because when you get your nutrition right, everything else feels just a little easier. You think more clearly, you move with more power, you show up in your relationships with more presence. That's what real vitality is all about. Now it's your turn. Which of these vitamins are currently part of your daily routine? Are they helping, or could they be silently holding you back? I'd love to hear about your experience. Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this video helpful, share it with another man over 60 who might be wondering why his energy has been slipping. Finally, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another science-backed, age-smart health tip made just for you. Because your best years aren't behind you, they're just getting started. Let's make sure you meet them feeling strong, clear, and full of life.